NBA YoungBoy has just pleaded guilty to his 2020 federal gun charges. But that's not all. He successfully moved the case from Baton Rouge to Utah for sentencing, attempting to sway the outcome in his favor. And if you thought that was crazy, then just wait till you hear what happened next. You may be asking, could this move mean a lighter sentence for him? Or is he facing a sure path to imprisonment? Don't worry, we have you covered with the shocking details regarding his case. Keep watching till the end of this video to see, just now, NBA YoungBoy pleads guilty goodbye forever. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. NBA YoungBoy pleads guilty. NBA YoungBoy, facing serious legal challenges, pleaded guilty to a federal indictment on August 14th. His case, initially in Baton Rouge, has now been moved to Utah for sentencing. The court documents noted, I, defendant, have been informed that a felony indictment is pending against me in the above designated case. I wish to plead guilty to the offense charged, to consent to the disposition of the case in the District of Utah in which I am present, and to waive trial in the above captioned district. This move marks a significant step as the rapper attempts to mitigate the impact of the charges against him. Previously, his lawyer Drew Fielding argued the complexities of prohibiting all convicted felons from possessing firearms. In April 2024, feds descended on the Utah residence of rapper NBA YoungBoy on Tuesday to serve a search warrant as part of an ongoing investigation into criminal conduct. According to the Cache County Sheriff's Office, NBA YoungBoy is reportedly a suspect in a significant prescription fraud operation, as stated in a police affidavit. The FBI has allegedly identified him as the leader of the NBA street gang in Louisiana. According to the affidavit, the FBI categorized YoungBoy's associates as a dangerous gang based on their organizational structure, affiliations, and violent tendencies. YoungBoy's music frequently features lyrics focusing on shooting, drug use, and antipathy towards law enforcement. He was detained at the Cache County Jail and subsequently charged in the 1st District Court with multiple offenses: pattern of unlawful activity, a second-degree felony, 15 counts each of identity fraud and forgery, which are third-degree felonies, and 15 counts of unlawful conduct classified as Class A misdemeanors. Cache County investigators report that they became aware of fraudulent prescriptions in September when a call was made to a Hiram, Utah pharmacy using the credentials of a Provo doctor who had no patient corresponding to the name provided. Pharmacists told police the voice sounded as though they were a much younger person disguising their voice to sound much older, the affidavit alleges. During the subsequent months, authorities state that 18 prescriptions were successfully filled across Cache County and throughout Utah. The prescriptions involved used various combinations of first and last names, along with different birthdays. The perpetrators impersonated elderly patients and ordered the antibiotic doxycycline as well as promethazine with codeine, a heavily abused controlled substance. Officers from the Cache-Rich Drug Task Force apprehended 2 females trying to collect codeine prescriptions in Smithfield while driving a Chevy Tahoe registered to NBA YoungBoy, which was subsequently impounded. According to the affidavit, police spoke to NBA YoungBoy, who asserted that the women were family members. During the phone conversation, investigators claim NBA YoungBoy muted himself several times. However, a lifelong friend of his residing with him in Baton Rouge could be heard communicating with the rapper saying, "Ask him about the prescription that they picked up." The affidavit states, with the officer noting, "It is suspected that they intended to mute me at that time as well." During the investigation, police claimed they received a call from Gwendolyn Cox, one of the alleged aliases used to order prescriptions. The caller mixed up the names of aliases, giving police the last name, White, and could not give an age when asked, according to police. The affidavit also said it was very clear that a fake voice was being used and sounded as though she was a much younger male from the southern states. A search warrant was executed at NBA YoungBoy's multi-million-dollar mansion in the unincorporated area of Weber County, northeast of Huntsville, Utah, where police say they found doxycycline prescribed to Caroline White, codeine prescribed to NBA YoungBoy with a false date of birth, and unlabeled codeine. They also say a gun was found, which NBA YoungBoy said belonged to his wife. YoungBoy has been under house arrest since October 2021, awaiting trial for a federal firearms charge. In 2020, he and 15 others were arrested after Baton Rouge police received a tip that a group was filming a music video involving firearms, as detailed in court documents. The Cache County Sheriff's Office reported the involvement of numerous agencies in executing the warrant at NBA YoungBoy's residence in Weber County. This included Homeland Security, the FBI, the Secret Service, Latent Police SWAT, and several others. NBA YoungBoy chased down by cops. Back in March 2021, NBA YoungBoy was arrested in Los Angeles after trying to escape from the police. Apparently, he had an outstanding warrant for an incident that occurred in 2020. YoungBoy and 15 other guys were charged with various gun and drug offenses after their trap house was raided in Baton Rouge, where they were shooting a music video. The police confiscated 14 guns and a lot of cash at the crime scene. YoungBoy was charged with possession of a firearm, manufacturing and distribution of drugs, and for being present at the scene of a crime. YoungBoy was eventually released on a $75,000 bond. In February 2022, the FBI announced that they were looking into the NBA camp with their eyes on NBA YoungBoy. After tracking him for a few weeks, the FBI pinpointed his location and attempted to arrest him. The situation quickly escalated as YoungBoy ran from his house and got into a high-speed chase with police. After hitting a roadblock, YoungBoy abandoned his car and tried to escape on foot. The FBI had to bring in the K-9 unit to track him, and he was eventually caught. He was taken to court and assigned a higher bond than the previous one. The FBI said the NBA camp was considered a violent street gang guilty of drug manufacturing, with NBA YoungBoy at the center of it all. NBA YoungBoy's dark criminal record. NBA YoungBoy may be young, but he has had quite a life of crime for his age. He lives as if he is above the law, but the cops are always there to remind him he can be taken down. NBA YoungBoy kidnaps girlfriend. As a Baton Rouge rapper still in his teenage years, NBA YoungBoy had already showcased his undeniable talent and amassed a considerable fan base. Yet alongside his musical prowess existed a troubling counterpart, his bad temper, which overshadowed his potential. YoungBoy faced charges for allegedly assaulting and kidnapping his girlfriend, with video footage depicting him shoving and dragging her through a hotel hallway in 2018. According to TMZ, a grand jury in Waycross, Atlanta reached a verdict of guilty for NBA YoungBoy on charges of both kidnapping and aggravated assault. Despite his girlfriend's reluctance to press charges and her explanation that they were only engaged in horseplay, the jury seemed unconvinced and opted for a less forgiving stance. To avoid incarceration, NBA YoungBoy paid a $1,500 fine and attended anger management classes. He was also instructed to refrain from any violent contact with Janiyah, the victim. NBA YoungBoy arrested for drive-by. In February 2016, NBA YoungBoy was arrested and booked into Parish Prison on 2 counts of attempted second-degree murder for his involvement in a drive-by shooting. YoungBoy was identified as one of the shooters who exited a vehicle and opened fire on several individuals in the 2000 block of Kentucky Street in Baton Rouge. A passenger in the car with NBA YoungBoy was shot in the neck during the gunfire. During the chaos, the group fled the scene but left the car near the LSU Lakes, where police later discovered the wounded man. He was rushed to the hospital and fortunately survived.